What's up, everyone? It's Bones here. I'd like to begin this video by giving a huge shout out to TCG Player for the opportunity to be a part of their affiliate program. If you want to help a content creator out, all you have to do is click on the TCG Player link down below, and it won't cost you anything either. As Konami continues to set the format on fire, the rebellious child in me continues to pour water on it with the arrival of new Ghoti cards. Atlanteans, like every other fan favorite deck, is something I usually like to revisit on my own, because people like to play those decks when they can. They're fan favorite for a reason, but some of these, like water, has been at the bottom of the sea for some time now. Today, Ultimate Dragoons are about $200 for one copy of a near mint, so naturally, we're just going to ride the wave a little bit here. And this first combo features Neptibus the Atlantean Prince, and I guess you can say we're back from the Neptibus, but we're going to start here with the normal summon of the Neptibus, use the effect in order to get ourselves the send for the Dragoons as well as an add for Dragoons, and the really nice thing about this is the Neptibus happens to be a cost in order to send. Your opponent would have to hand trap the Dragoons in order to stop the add from the Dragoons on a new chain link. So depending on what your hand is, if your opponent were to hand trap the Neptibus, you would still be able to play around what your opponent may have. And we're going to continue here by using the effect of the Dragoons, get ourselves the Minstrel, and now we can use the effect of the Minstrel, pitching the Dragoons, as we'll then be able to rip a card from our opponent's hand, use the effect of Dragoons, and now we'll get the Lapis Dragon. We'll use the effect of Lapis Dragon, and this gives us access into a level 6 synchro, as we'll go into the Aryan, I think this is called. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this, but we're going to use its effect in order to banish ourselves the Shift, and from here we can go on to our opponent's turn. Our opponent will get their card back, as we'll then be able to use the effect of Shift on the standby phase. We'll then go on to the opponent's turn, where we'll use the effect of Shift at any point you would like to activate it, go into the Askin, use the effect of the level 6 synchro in the graveyard as well as the Askin, and now we can banish our opponent's card, get ourselves an add. You can get yourself a Minai Ruka here, or you can get whatever else you would like to add, but the Minai Ruka does provide you an extra extender if you have another way to get a Ghoti synchro or a Ghoti tuner on board that can quick synchro, as this will give you the ability to just make more plays. You can also keep the Minai Ruka in hand for your own turn, so you can get that negate. Now this second combo here features Deep Sea Diva, and we're going to start here by normal summoning the Deep Sea Diva, use its effect, special summon out the Atlantean, as we'll use its effect in order to send the Dragoons, add the Dragoons, use the effect of Dragoons for the Minstrel, use the effect of Minstrel, as we'll then be able to add ourselves a copy of the Lapis off the Dragoons as we rip a card from our opponent's hand, and now we'll be able to special summon the Lapis, go into the Anemone, and now from here we're going to do a lot of what we did previously, except we're going to be able to end on the Anemone for an extra body this time around, so having just the Diva isn't too great when you're taking this line of play, as you're really just getting the Anemone out of it. Now this next combo features the Ice Jade Ran, the level 7 that came out, I believe, in Cyberstorm Access, along with the Dragoons, and it is a cost to send it to the graveyard, so we'll be able to get the Dragoons effect off of it, as we're going to then special summon out the Ran, and we're going to get the token as well. We're then going to go into the Anemone, use the effect in order to get back the Ice Jade. We'll then normal summon the Diva, use the effect of Diva in order to bring out Neptibus, and with the Neptibus we have access into the Ghoti line, but because we have the 3 extra monsters, we can also go into the Bubble Reef, which is basically the water version of Heat Soul, as we'll then be able to send ourselves the Dragoon and get ourselves a copy of Dragoon, then use the effect of Dragoon, get ourselves the add for the Minstrel, use the effect of Minstrel as we'll be able to rip a card from our opponent's hand, use the effect of Dragoon along with the effect of the Bubble Reef, get an extra 600 boost, as we're then going to use the effect of the Lapis, and the reason that I got the 600 boost is because of the banish of the Dragoon, so we're just going to then go into the level 6 Ghoti as we'll use its effect, which will banish the Shift, and now we can use the effect again of the Bubble Reef. Now this next combo features the Ice Jade along with Neptibus, and we're going to start this one by normal summoning the Neptibus. We'll be able to use its effect, send the Dragoons, add the Dragoons, as we'll then be able to use the effect of the Dragoons, get ourselves the Lapis, use the effect of Lapis, as we'll then be able to go into our Ghoti level 6, use the effect in order to banish the Shift, as we'll then be able to use the effect of the Ice Jade in hand, use the effect in order to get ourselves the token as well as the effect of Dragoons in graveyard, as we'll then go into our Ice Jade level 10 synchro, special summon out the Mulan, which will allow us to hand rip 2, so we didn't get the Minstrel, but we do get to rip 2 cards from our opponent's hand, as we're then going to go on to our opponent's turn, where the Shift will come back during the standby phase. We can then use the effect of Shift at any point you would like to respond to your opponent, use the effect of the level 6 synchro in graveyard for the add, as we'll also use the Askin. We'll then be able to get ourselves the Minai Ruka, we'll also banish the Shift in order to get back the Askin, and with this we can pass on to our opponent. Now this next combo features the Deep Sea Diva plus the Ice Jade, and we're going to start this one by normal summoning the Deep Sea Diva. As you'll notice, what the Deep Sea Diva does here is just get the extra body, as the Atlantean stuff gets you into the Ghoti stuff, but we're then going to use the effect of the Dragoons in order to get ourselves the Lapis. Special summon out the Lapis, go into the Ghoti, as we'll then be able to banish the Shift. We'll then use the effect of the Ice Jade. We'll then get the effect of Dragoons along with the token, as we'll be able to add ourselves the copy of Molten Glacia. We'll then go into the Anemone, special summon out the Molten Glacia, rip 2 from our opponent's hand, use the effect of Anemone, which will bring back Neptibus, and this will allow us to go into the Dragite. Now this next combo features the White Stingray along with the Neptibus, and this will also be the Fish Harpooner once that comes out. I think it's called the Fish Harpooner, but we're then going to start here by using the effect of Neptibus as we normal summon it, sending the Dragoons, adding ourselves the Dragoons, use the effect of Dragoons in order to add ourselves the Minstrel, use the effect of the Minstrel, rip a card from our opponent's hand. So just really easy way to play around hand traps, as we're going to use the effect of the Lapis, as we're then going to special summon it, get ourselves access into the Ghoti level 6, as we're going to banish the Moonlit, and the Moonlit is the only new card that we'll be using out of the new Ghoti stuff, called Sick Moonlight of the Ghoti, I believe it is. And if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one fish monster from your deck to your hand except Moonlight of the Ghoti. Then banish one fish monster from your hand or face-up field, and if this card is banished, you can banish one fish monster from your hand, graveyard, or face-up field except Moonlight. Special summon this card. You can only use each effect of Moonlight once per turn. Now we're going to get that effect in order to banish Stingray and then bring itself out so that we can get the add, and this will give us the ability to get a Ghoti tuner so that when we banish it, we can go onto our opponent's turn and get that Ghoti tuner effect on the standby phase so that we can synchro summon on our opponent's turn. But we're then going to use the effect of Shift, as we'll synchro away into the Askin at any point you would like to activate it. This will give us the ability to use the effect of Askin and banish the Moonlight, which is really nice, as we do get a plus from that as well. We're going to be able to then get the Zep, as we'll use the effect Moonlight in order to banish the Shift, bringing it back, and then the add effect will be able to banish the Zep from hand, bring out the Minairuka as well, which will give us the ability to have access to different synchros that we can make here, whether it be a level 6 or a level 8 or even a level 10, like Ghoti the Deep Beyond. This next combo, we now have the Deep Sea Diva plus the White Stingray, regards to having Diva and Neptibus, and these are kind of like your main combo starters, as they're really what gets you into the Ghoti line and lets you do what you want to do. And I will show what you do have as an alternative later on, but we're going to use the effect of Minstrel, get ourselves the hand rip, as we'll be able to add ourselves a copy of Lapis. Then because we have Lapis added to hand, we can special summon it out, go into the Ghoti, as we'll be able to banish the Moonlight, use the effect of Moonlight banishing the White Stingray. We'll then be able to use the effect of the Moonlight, banish the Shift that we add off of it, go into the Dragite, go onto our opponent's turn, where Shift will then come back, and from here we have the ability to synchro summon on our opponent's turn, whether it be into a level 10, you can go into the Askin. We'll use the effect of the Ghoti synchro on the Moonlight so that we can banish the Moonlight, and then the really cool thing here is how we can get the effect of the Moonlight off of that, and we also have the Minairuka that we get added off of the synchro, as we'll then be able to get ourselves the special summon of the Minairuka, the Askin, and the level 6, as we'll be able to add ourselves the Zep, and again, just another explosive way to play on your opponent's turn with just so many bodies coming out of nowhere, as we'll get the Ghoti of the Deep Beyond or whatever else you want to go into and let your opponent go on from there. Now for the penultimate combo, we have the Minstrel plus the Dragoons and the Ice Jade, and we're going to start this one by using the Minstrel. So you'll see that Minstrel plus the Dragoons is another way to get into your combos, or the Ice Jade plus the Dragoons, as you'll be able to add your Diva or your Neptibus, and then we're going to use the effect of the Neptibus sending the Dragoons, add ourselves the Dragoons, use the effect of Dragoons in order to add ourselves the Moulin. We'll special summon out the Ice Jade by pitching the Dragoons, get the effect of Dragoons, which will add ourselves a copy of the Lapis, special summon out the Lapis, so we're disregarding Nib entirely here, which would kind of mess up our turn, and that is important to note though. But we're going to then special summon out the Anemone or Link summon it, special summon out the Molten Glacia. We'll get the hand rip for 2, as we'll then be able to go into the Ghoti line, use the effect of the Ghoti in order to banish the Shift, then we can use the Anemone. This will give us access into the Dragite, and from here we can pass on to our opponent. Now for the test hand, very flexible hand with the fact that we have the Ran and the Dragoons plus the Neptibus, so we can use the effect of the Stingray. We'll pitch the Dragoons, and we're doing this specifically because we're going to be able to special summon back the Dragoons out, and then we can have access into a rank 4 as we'll go into the Bahamut Shark, and on our 5th summon, we can get the Toad. So that means that this combo is anti-Nib, or this hand rather is anti-nib, and there are ways to play around it with the white Stingray. If we're then going to special summon out the Lapis, we can then go into Anemone. We'll use the Anemone in order to get back the Neptibus, and now we can go and use the Neptibus, send the Dragoons, get ourselves another copy of Dragoons, use the effect of Dragoons. This will get us the Moulin Glacia. Special summon out the Moulin Glacia, get the hand rip for 2, as we'll then be able to go into the Ghoti, use the effect of the Ghoti. With all of the combos out of the way, we can get onto the deck profile, and a very straightforward list, and a lot of things that you saw in the combos within this list, where we have the Deep Sea Diva that gets you into the Neptibus, and then that sends the Dragoons. You can use the Minstrel and Dragoons in order to get into your Neptibus or your Deep Sea Diva. Then you have your extenders via the White Stingray and the Ice Jades. You also have the Lapis for your Ghoti plays, the Minairuka, which can either be an extender or it can be a board breaker, sort of, as you can get the negate on your own turn when you special summon it. And then you also have the Ghoti cards, which is just Engine. Now, we are on a very low spell count, and it's because we just don't really need spells in this deck, and the most important part of it, in my opinion, is just the fact that we can rip hand traps naturally with the Minstrel, which just helps this deck play around a little bit more, as we then have the Small World, which also allows us to get into basically our entire pool of monsters here, as you have a bunch of different levels, attack points, and same attributes that can really go a long way in what you search. And the really cool thing about this as well is, because you have stuff like the Neptibus, which has level 1, 0 defense, have the 0 attacks, level 3 Ash, Fire here. There's just a lot of Small World bridges that you have with hand trap, as well as the water stuff that really makes it work, but I'm only going with 2 copies because the 1-for-1, something that can get you directly into combo as well. Then have our going second lineup. It really depends on what you would like to play here, depending on what the format calls for, but right now I'm just going with some standard hand traps of the 3 Ash, the 3 Bell, and the Drolls for the format call and the Imperms. Then onto the extra deck, there's not a lot that I have to say here, except that maybe you can replace the Ice Jade level 10 with Baron, and you'll see that I'm not on the Mermail, Abyss Lacia, or the Infantry, and it's because we're not playing any Mermails at all. I just don't think that we need them. Then we also have the Water Charmer, and I don't think that this is worth playing yet. There's nothing we can special summon out of it, and nothing that our opponent is using hand trap wise that is water. It makes it worth, in my opinion, especially in fire format. So fortunately the weakest Charmer right now. We then have the Guoglim, which is another option if you would like to play it as a fish monster level 8. We have the Zeus and Typhon, which are other things that I would like to play, but extra deck space is pretty tight, since there are things like the Abyss Keeper that you like to play for the board breaking capabilities going second. Then there's the Anemone and the Bubble Reef, which you do kind of want to play for your end boards. Having the ability to revive a monster off of the Anemone is big for how you synchro, as well as you saw in the combos. Then there's stuff like the Bubble Reef, which is just bigger Heat Soul, and I don't think that's bad for an end board card by any means. And you do, of course, want to play the Toad package when you're playing the 3 copies of Stingray. And another thing that I would really like to say about Stingray and its importance is that being able to special summon it after your Diva has been hand trapped and getting you into the Ghoti line is really nice. That's why I play 3 of it. Besides that, I don't have much else to say about the list, so I'll get onto the card by card. And we have the 2 Lapis Dragon, the 1 Moulin Glacia, the 1 Minairuka, the 1 Moonlight, the 1 copy of Shift, the 1 Zep, the 3 copies of Stingray, the 3 copies of Diva, the 3 copies of Neptibus, the 3 copies of Dragoons, the 3 copies of Minstrel, the 3 copies of Ice Jade, the 2 copies of Small World, 1 copy of 1-for-1, the 3 copies of Imperm, Droll, then have the 3 copies of the Spell and the 3 copies of Ash. Onto the extra deck, we have the 2 level 6 Ghotis. We then have the 1 Dragite, the 1 Whale, the 1 Askin, the 1 Ghoti of the Deep Beyond, Changying, the Ice Jade level 10, Toad, Bahamut, Dweller. We then have SP Little Knight, Abyss Keeper, Anemone, and Bubble Reef to round out the deck profile. So for everyone who's made it this far, I'd like to thank you for watching and for the 700 plus subs. I truly appreciate your support, and you guys have really been killing it. And we've monetized the channel, giving us access to supers and memberships, which means that more awesome stuff is on the horizon. To get the channel membership, just click on the description below, and there will be a link that takes you there. You'll also notice a free Discord link that I've made for us too. If you want to support me as a content creator, even if you can't donate supers or get a membership for the channel, clicking on those thumbs up and subscribe buttons help a lot too. For those wondering, I do plan on making updates to the channel as the support on the channel grows. Anyways, I hope to see you on the next one.